Welcome. Alynn, do you want to share who you are and where you are in the world?
Sure. So my name is Alynn, and we are a family of five. We have three boys. Currently, we are living in Richmond Hill, Ontario, just north of Toronto.
Awesome. And you're living in Richmond Hill, and you and I have never met in real life, but we have had all sorts of amazing connections. And I'm going to meet you in a few weeks in Bali with your family. Uh, what I'd love for you to
So
share
exciting.
today, yeah, me too. I would love for you to share how you, as a family of five and a mother of three boys, made the decision to take a jump and come to Bali to explore what's possible.
Yeah. So 5 years ago, my husband and I, we went and had the privilege to go and visit Bali. And I said to him then that my dream would be to bring our children back. And, I tucked it away in the back of my head. And now here we are. And I think it was really the last couple of years um, that was something was stirring up in me. And when this opportunity arose, I thought, now is the time. Let's do it. Let's go for it. And here we are. We did it.
So you're coming to Bali. Your boys have never been that far away from Canada. But you have made a bunch of different jumps in the past year or two. I wonder if you could share with people just, you know, what you do for work and also as a family, some of the choices that you're making consciously.
Mhm. So I'm in education myself, and I've been teaching in the public board for 15 years. And I knew that my passion is teaching and being with children, but I was struggling with aligning my values and my passions in teaching with traditional public school.
Mm.
And so initially, we decided to pull the children and put them into an alternative program, the Waldorf program, and I continued teaching in the public school. And then with COVID in the last few years, it really shook things up in my world, in our family, in the world in general. But I started to question more about teaching and where I could see myself teaching, possibly outside of traditional public school. So this year, um, I'm on a leave and trying to figure out what teaching will look like for me. And with me being off, we thought we'll pull the kids as well from their school and do something different this year. And I have to say, it was scary. It was scary for myself and my husband. The kids were up for it. But I think my own schooling and my own training was holding me back. And so it was a big jump to do this move this year. Um, but I think I was listening to my heart, trying to be open-minded and really following the guide of my children, our children. And so here we are, and this opportunity, Bali, presented itself, and we thought, what better time than now to go? And so we're
You've got
going.
ability. Um, I'm so curious because you're talking about being scared of making that jump. You still did do it. You pulled your kids out of even their alternative school. You took a break as an educator to explore and to ask, what does this look like now? Um, Feeling that fear, what can you tell us just a little bit about what that fear looks like? Because I think everybody can sense in their own fear of doing something different with their kids. What did it look like for you?
Yeah, I guess one of the biggest fears is, that little voice saying, what if your kids fall behind? Or what if they miss the opportunity that school's going to provide for them that's going to, make them successful in society? Or are they going to be, keeping up with their peers and these sorts of things that I know deep in my heart don't mean anything. Well, to me, they don't, but it's like this training that I've been, you know, told from day one. This is the progression. This is what you do next. And you go to public school, you go to high school, you go to whatnot. And so, yeah, doing something that may not look traditional. And the other piece was the questions that then arose from family members, or neighbors and peers and friends. And it's like, you're doing what?
Hmm.
And, your own fear comes up, and then the questions arise, and you're answering them, but you're also navigating these tricky waters yourself, within yourself. And so I think that's um, and those are my own insecurities coming out. Like, what does this look like to the outside world? Oh, we're the crazy ones that are doing these crazy things. So I think that is how it showed up for me.
Oh, thank you. I think you just voiced what goes on in any parent's mind, any mother, any father who decides to listen to their heart, even if it's not what everybody else around you is doing. And that you describing the push pull of hearing your what you intuitively feel is a really great way forward. And yet you're not quite on solid ground, or it's a bit shaky because you have so much conditioning. And when you're asked, I've had this very thing happen to me. When you're asked repeatedly, you really are forced to come up with, what is my why? Why am I doing this? Which I think if you're in the pattern, you don't have to do that. You just kind of leave it and set it. You don't really have to come up with, what is my family's learning compass? What is important to us? And I wonder what you're coming to with having that space for your family to explore and to ask your why and to question. What are some of the learnings that you've had going your own way this year?
Mm. Well, I think I really my why is my children. And I
Mm.
look at each one of them, and I look at their gifts, and I look at them as learners, and how learning can look very different for each child. And I've seen them in various different learning environments. And my dream for them, to show them that learning doesn't have to look traditional. Learning can be going across the world and meeting up with other families that are doing similar things, that learning doesn't have to take place within four walls and sitting at a desk. And for them to really discover who they are. And I find sometimes when you can break outside of those four walls, and children are given space to connect within themselves, there's so much learning and discovery that can take place. And really, that's my wish and my hope for them, for myself too.
Yeah, actually, that point for myself too. I think for any parent whose why is their children, which is a beautiful, beautiful direction, is when we know our why for ourselves and we feed our own, compass and our own needs, we have so much more for our kids. And I'm, as you're like 2 weeks away almost, I think, to going to Bali with your family, taking this jump into some unknowns, can you share what you're hoping for? Or are there any sparks that you really love to happen? Before it happens, I'd love to hear you share it, and then we're going to check in when you get back to see what did unfold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. My hope for myself is to have some space for some clarity and to um, be away from home and the patterns that come along with being at home, and to just really listen to what my heart is longing for, um, listening to my family and seeing what path we're going to take moving forward. Because right now we don't know what the future looks like in terms of education, and so I'm excited to meet up with other people and have connections and conversations and see where it takes me.
You're
I'm
open.
going with an open mind and open heart.
Oh, I
So,
can see that. And are your
yeah,
kids excited?
they are so excited. They have piles of things that they want to bring.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and they have been looking at they love airplanes. I have three boys, so anything machinery. So they have been looking at all the model of the airplanes and seating
wow.
arrangements.
My
They have like
13-year-old is not looking at models for airplanes, but that is so back to learning different things, and it looks different for every child. That's so cool. And for you, like, are there any specific things that you want to be immersed in, or yeah, just when you imagine Bali with as a family, what do you see?
I really want to soak up the culture. The last time I went, I was just in awe of the beauty in the people. Like absolute.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like I'm almost speechless to talk, but like there is just something so special and so beautiful about the people. And I'm so excited to show our children this beautiful culture and to witness them in it. Um, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, Mama Bali will envelope you for sure in all of its busyness and smells and heat. Um, I can't wait to see you, Alynn, and I can't wait to chat with you when you get back. Just a final word, if you have any thoughts for anyone on the fence about, trying to make a jump, making a decision. Do you have any words for anybody who's like wavering on making a big decision but not sure with their family
Mhm.
what to do?
Yeah, I will say I feel you. I was there for a very long time, and I followed people on Instagram, different blogs that took these jumps. And I would often read and I would be so inspired, but then tell myself, oh, we don't do that, or that's for other people, or yeah, it's not something that I thought we could do as a family. And then I asked myself, like, why? Why can't we do that? And thankfully I found you and I found your platform, and um, I felt supported.
Mm,
And if you can connect with someone who can support you through this jump,
mm.
I highly recommend it, because that I feel is what gave me that confidence to to take the jump. So I will let you know how it goes, but we are very excited, and yeah, butterflies and nerves are there as well.
Well, I can't wait to see you on the other side and finding your people. You're going to find so many people you haven't yet met. and so are your boys. I'm so, so thrilled for you. And thank you for sharing your feelings and your excitement. Thanks, Alynn.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hope. Looking forward to it.